16 Ways to Avoid Being Seen as a Weak Man in Relationships. Welcome to Relationship Shield, where we explore topics that strengthen your relationships and protect your heart and connections. If this is your first time here, we are happy to have you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest insights on love and relationships. Let's talk about the 16 ways to avoid being seen as a weak man in relationships. In a relationship, the dynamics of power, respect, and admiration are shaped by both partners. For men, particularly, it's essential to establish themselves as confident, grounded, and strong individuals who command respect, not only in their own eyes but in the eyes of their partners as well. While it's natural to care deeply for someone you love, it's equally important to avoid behaviors that might cause you to be seen as weak, needy, or easily controlled. Strength in a relationship is not just about being physically strong or financially successful. It's about emotional maturity, self-respect, and maintaining a sense of individuality. Here are 16 ways you can avoid being seen as a weak man by a woman in a relationship, fostering a healthy, balanced connection that is rooted in mutual respect and admiration. 1. Set boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries in a relationship is essential for both partners to feel respected and valued. A man who knows what he stands for and who communicates his boundaries confidently shows strength and self-respect. Whether it's related to time, emotional needs, or expectations in the relationship, having non-negotiable boundaries demonstrates that you have a strong sense of self. Letting someone cross those boundaries without resistance is often seen as a lack of self-respect and can result in your partner taking advantage of you. 2. Communicate with confidence. The way you communicate plays a crucial role in how others perceive you. A man who speaks with confidence, without being aggressive or condescending, radiates authority and strength. Assertiveness is not about dominating the conversation or forcing your opinions on others, but about calmly expressing your thoughts, feelings, and desires. In contrast, a passive approach, where you constantly defer to your partner's wishes or avoid sharing your own, can be perceived as weakness. 3. Avoid being overly needy. One of the most critical signs of strength in a relationship is emotional independence. A man who is overly needy, dependent on his partner for constant validation, attention, or emotional support can easily be seen as weak. It's important to maintain your own sense of identity, pursue your own interests, and have a life outside of the relationship. This doesn't mean neglecting your partner, but rather fostering your independence so you don't rely on them to complete you. A woman is far more likely to respect and admire a man who can stand on his own. 4. Maintain self-respect. Never beg for love, attention, or validation. A man who respects himself will not beg for love, affection, or validation from others, especially from his partner. If you find yourself constantly seeking reassurance or begging for attention, it sends a message that you lack confidence and self-worth. A man who respects himself naturally commands respect from others because he doesn't settle for less than he deserves, and he doesn't let anyone treat him poorly. 5. Pursue your passions and goals. A man with personal ambitions, goals, and a clear sense of purpose is incredibly attractive. When you have passions and pursuits that go beyond the relationship, you demonstrate that you are a well-rounded individual with your own life and dreams. This makes you not only more interesting but also more admirable. Being a man of purpose is empowering, and it reminds both you and your partner that the relationship is just one part of your fulfilling life. 6. Don't over-apologize. Apologize when necessary, but don't overdo it. While it's important to take accountability for your mistakes, constantly apologizing for minor issues can make you appear insecure. It's a sign that you're overly concerned about keeping the peace, possibly at the expense of your own integrity. Apologize when it's necessary, but avoid excessive apologies that can come across as weak or lacking in self-assurance. A confident man owns up to his mistakes, but doesn't grovel unnecessarily. 7. Avoid overcompensating with material things. Trying to win your partner's affection with material gifts or gestures may feel like a quick fix, but it will never replace the value of emotional connection. A strong man doesn't rely on his wallet to prove his worth. He builds a relationship based on trust, respect, and emotional intimacy. When you overcompensate with gifts or money, It can come off as an attempt to buy love or affection, which often feels disingenuous. 8. Respect your partner, but don't tolerate disrespect. Respect in a relationship is a two-way street. A man who allows himself to be disrespected will inevitably lose his partner's admiration. It's important to be kind, loving, and supportive, but it's equally important to stand up for yourself if you are being mistreated. Let your partner know that disrespect will not be tolerated, and demand mutual respect in all interactions. If you allow your partner to speak down to you, disregard your opinions, or treat you poorly, you're communicating a lack of self-worth. 9. Learn to say no. While it's important to be considerate of your partner's needs and wishes, it's equally important to learn how to say no. A man who always says yes to every request or situation, even when it's against his principles or interests, is easily seen as a pushover. Setting limits and being able to say no when necessary demonstrates that you have a strong sense of self and are willing to protect your own interests. It also shows that you're not afraid to challenge your partner when needed. 10. Avoid over-explaining yourself. If you find yourself over-explaining every decision or action, it can create an impression of insecurity. Confident individuals are able to make decisions and stand by them without feeling the need to justify themselves constantly. Trust in your judgment, and if necessary, explain your reasoning in a clear, straightforward manner. Over-explanation often comes across as weak because it suggests you're trying to gain approval or avoid confrontation. 11. Be a problem solver, not a complainer. Nobody enjoys being around someone who constantly complains but never offers solutions. A strong man is a problem solver who focuses on finding constructive ways to address challenges. Complaining about a situation without trying to improve it can make you seem powerless and unmotivated. Instead, take the initiative to look for solutions and lead by example. This shows leadership and inspires confidence in both you and your partner. 12. Stay independent. It's easy to get lost in a relationship and start conforming to what your partner expects. However, maintaining your independence is crucial to your self-respect. Keep pursuing your hobbies, passions, and friendships outside of the relationship. A man who maintains his individuality shows that he has a life beyond his partner, which makes him more attractive and respected. When you lose yourself in a relationship, it can make you appear weak or desperate for approval. 13. Be a leader in the relationship. Leadership in a relationship doesn't mean controlling your partner, but it does mean being able to step up and take charge when necessary. Whether it's planning a date, making decisions, or navigating tough situations, being a decisive, confident leader shows strength. A man who is willing to take the lead inspires trust and respect from his partner. Being passive or indecisive can make you appear weak or unable to manage your own life, let alone a relationship. 14. Be honest about your needs and wants. A weak man often hides his true needs and desires, fearing that expressing them will cause conflict. In a healthy relationship, it's essential to be honest about what you need and want. Suppressing your feelings or desires in an attempt to keep the peace can lead to resentment and frustration. Be open with your partner and communicate your needs clearly. This transparency builds trust and shows that you're confident enough to express yourself without fear. 15. Avoid excessive people-pleasing. While it's important to consider your partner's feelings and desires, it's equally important not to lose yourself in the process of people-pleasing. A man who sacrifices his own happiness, well-being, or principles to avoid conflict or keep his partner happy is often seen as weak. It's essential to find a balance between compromise and maintaining your own integrity. Prioritize your own happiness and well-being, and ensure that your needs are also being met. 16. Prioritize respect over love. While love is a beautiful and essential component of a relationship, respect is even more critical. Without mutual respect, love will falter. A relationship based solely on affection without respect is unsustainable. Always ensure that you earn and demand respect from your partner and vice versa. When respect is prioritized, love becomes deeper, more genuine, and long-lasting. In conclusion, being seen as a strong man in a relationship is not about dominating or controlling your partner. It's about showing confidence, self-respect, emotional maturity, and the ability to maintain your individuality. Relationships thrive when both partners bring their best selves to the table, respecting each other's boundaries, needs, and desires. By following these 16 guidelines, you can avoid being seen as weak and instead cultivate a relationship built on mutual admiration, trust, and respect. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more.